Hi, Trish.
How are you? I can't hear that.
You get ready to do YouTube.
So I'm just back to class.
I can't wait till this.
That's a good job.
I am so involved.
Oh my God, Anthony.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well. We'll be starting in about a minute.
Good job, Joe. Good job.
Yeah, this is.
Michelle, use your cell phone right now in case Anthony has any trouble logging in. I didn't bring mine down,
Yeah, I usually
just in case.
All right, here we go. Good evening. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Are they still on mute?
I unmuted
Okay.
when you're ready to ask who's there after the commencement.
This regular meeting of the Township Council is being held in accordance with the schedule of the meetings of the Township Council established and adopted by the Township Council, which schedule designated the time, date, and place of this meeting. Adequate public notice of this meeting has been provided pursuant to the provisions of the Open Meetings Act. We're using electronic amplifying and recording device in order to obtain a clear and audible record. And we request all those wishing to speak be recognized and state your name and address. The recording device will be solely utilized by the Township Clerk's Office for the preparation of minutes and shall be the official record of the Township Council meeting. Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Hutchison,
Present.
Mr. Owens,
Present.
Mrs. Stubbs,
Present.
Mrs. Winters,
Here.
Mr. Mignon,
Here.
Mrs. Strato,
Here.
Mr. Mercado,
Present.
Mr. Carlemere,
Present.
Mr. Cardis.
Here.
This is special.
This is a special meeting. We have Councilwoman Winters and Councilwoman Stubbs that have called in on the line, and we have 5 members of council present physically. We'll now open up the public portion. If you are on the line, or if you're on YouTube channel and would like to speak, please state your name.
Yes, this is Peter Heinball.
Mr. Heinball, go ahead, please.
Yes, Peter Heinball, Morningstar Court. A question on the agenda. Property tax revenues quarter to date. How does it compare quarter to date this year versus quarter to date a year ago?
Pete, excuse me, I'm having a hard time hearing you. Can you restate that? All of us had a hard time hearing you. Your phone's a little fuzzy.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll try to be more clear. Can you hear me a little better?
It's a little bit better. Go ahead.
Yes, my question is next to the agenda items. What is the
Pete, hold on for a
quarter
second.
to date?
Pete, hold on for 1 second. Anyone who's on the line, can you please mute your phone other than Mr. Heinball? All right, let's try it now, Pete.
Okay. My question, do we know the quarter to date tax revenue at this point compared to the quarter to date tax revenue from 1 year ago?
Mr. Cardis, did you hear that question?
No, I do not have that information. Had Mr. Heinball called me or rather emailed me earlier, I wasn't able to tell him that. We are collecting taxes, mortgage companies are paying. I know we're going to take action tonight on the, we're going to take action tonight to address the extension, the governor, his executive order. But I do not have that analysis, Pete. I'd have to look at that. I will tell you, though, that many of the big mortgage companies are paying the full amounts.
Mr. Heimball, did you hear that?
I think I heard the gist of it. I think I got reprimanded for not asking the question in advance. That's part of what I think I heard.
Okay. So, no, we do not have that information. Mr. Carts does not have that information. In the future, and you've done this in the past, if you could just, if that's something that we wouldn't have off the top of our head, and readily available. But Mr. Carson says that mortgage companies are sending in tax payment on behalf of their clients. They're trickling in. People have been going through the tax window. So the traffic is pretty brisk. But we won't have that. If that's something that you're requesting, tax revenue.
No, I'm not requesting. I just was wondering, we're extending, since we're going to extend the grace period, I was wondering if there was a slowdown up until this point of tax revenue receipts.
I don't believe so, no.
Another question then, do mortgage
Typically, what I see when we have a grace period, because we've had it before when the state has not passed their budget and did not have state aid figures for us, usually in the August quarter, what I see is the mortgage companies pay within the normal period of time, which would be the 10-day grace period.
Okay, I think I got that. One last question. The latest, I guess, the April month-end cash flow forecast, has that been completed yet?
When you say a forecast, what are we talking about? We paid the schools their
The
amounts.
cash flow forecast document that's issued, that's prepared every month by Gloucester Township.
Well, we prepared a cash analysis for the ability to issue the TANs. I'm not sure what you're talking about. We have certain bills we have to pay. So far, we are paying those bills.
Mr. Heimball, your time is up. Is there, if we don't have any other speakers, we can have you come back on. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak on the resolution that we have? Hearing none, we'll have Mr. Heimball. Mr. Heimball, do you have any additional questions?
I'm not able to hear Mr. Curtis's, all of his responses. When the end of month April cash flow forecast document is completed, may I have a copy of it?
You can request that. That would not be something I would prepare. That would be something that the CFO would prepare.
Okay, that was, the document I'm asking for was forwarded to me a few weeks ago for the end of month May cash flow forecast.
By whom? By whom? By the CFO?
Maybe it was from her, but Mr. Curtis, you agreed to have it sent to me at the previous meeting.
Yeah, I think but I think what you're referring to was the cash analysis that is necessary to do the resolution for the tax anticipation notes. That's what we gave.
Yes, that's the statement I'm referring to. I'm sorry if I misnamed it.
Yeah, that was a one-time tabulation sheet, and that was required by the Division of Local Government Services in order to approve the resolution. So that's not something that's prepared every month.
Okay, so that analysis forecast no change in property tax receipts is what the forecast indicated. So is that still the position of Gloucester Township, that will have no decrease in property tax receipts for this quarter, pertaining to this quarter?
Well, that document's mutually exclusive of that decision whether or not taxes are going to go up or not. We haven't done anything with that yet. We still need to introduce a budget. And the CFO in preparing that would not have assumed any increase. That's not, that is not,
for us to be.
That's not.
It's difficult for me to make the point I'm trying to make on this, so I'll end my portion here.
Well, I want to be clear that analysis had nothing to do with council's work on the budget. That had to do with the CFO doing a cash flow analysis based on the prior year. And that was required by DLGS.
Okay, I have questions that are starting to go off on a tangent beyond this agenda item, so I'll save them for the next public meeting that's going to be held after this.
All right,
Thank you.
Mr. President, we have a question that came in on the YouTube from Marlisa Wilson. I understand about the governor's extension. How about people who have not received their unemployment, have no income? Will the township look to further extensions past June?
Mr. Carter?
We are not permitted to. It's set by the state, and the maximum point in time that we can extend to is the 1st of June, which I will point out to you is through the 1st of June. The 1st of June is a Monday. So as long as taxes are paid by that Monday, the interest doesn't roll back to the May 1st deadline. But if it's paid on the 2nd, it would roll back to the May 1st deadline. We cannot extend that without the state authorizing that, and the maximum is June 1st.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that has not spoken that would like to speak? With that, we'll close the public portion. Resolution R2005-092, resolution of the Township Council of the Township of Gloucester extending the grace period for May 1st property tax payments until June 1st in accordance with Executive Order 130. On April 28th, the Governor of New Jersey issued Executive Order 130. This permits municipalities to adopt a resolution instituting a grace period on a date no later than June 1st, 2020, for the payment of second quarter property taxes. So this resolution is an effort to mitigate financial hardship on and alleviate some of the financial burden caused by COVID-19 on our property taxpayers within the township. Again, this concludes on June 1st, 2020. I entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. On the question?
Maybe just for clarity, this is not an executive order directive.
That towns do this. This gives the towns the discretion, if they choose, to adopt the ordinance to implement the grace period to June 1st. It's not a mandate.
Thank you, Mr. Carlemere. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hutchison?
Yes.
Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mrs. Stubbs? Don't forget to take her off the move.
Yes, sorry, I was on mute, sorry, yes.
Mrs. Winters?
Yes.
Mr. Mignon?
Yes.
Mrs. Trotto?
Yes.
Mr. Mercado?
Yes. I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Carlemere, should I do a commencement statement for this one too, going to the workshop?
No, you can just indicate once, I think you have 5 minutes, but then you officially open.
No, we're going, I thought we're going directly into
Oh,
it.
okay, yeah, just indicate that you'll be going directly into the work agenda and do a roll call, but you don't have to read a statement then.
For those who are on the phone and those who are watching, we're going directly into our May workshop agenda. There will be a public portion, and we'll take a roll call again. Madam Clerk?
Mr. Hutchison?
Present.
Mr. Owens?
Present.
Mrs. Stubbs?
Present.
Mrs. Winters?
Here.
Mr. Mignon?
Here.
Mrs. Trotto?
Here.
Mr. Mercado?
Present.
Mr. Carlemere?
Here.
Mr. Cardis?
Here. We'll now open up our public portion. Anyone wishing to speak on any item may speak, whether you're on our phone or via YouTube. We'll now open up the public portion.
Yes, this is Peter Heindel again.
Mr. Einbach, good evening again.
Yes. Peter Heindel, Morning Star Court. As a consequence of this grace period extension, residents now have till June 1st to to pay their quarterly property taxes without penalty. Am I correct, though, that the remittance to the county for their share of property tax and to the school districts for their share are due on May 15th?
County is due on May 15th. Schools have already been paid for April.
So the schools will be due the remittance for another month of property taxes on May 15th, and the county for a whole quarter's worth of property tax also on May 15th. Is that correct?
That's incorrect. The schools get the payment at the end of May, and the county is due May 15th. Now, whether the county extends that, I don't know. Typically, they don't. So that's the due date.
Is Gloucester Township then looking at a potential cash flow deficit when that payment to the county is due?
Mr. Carter?
I don't believe so, no, because we're able to collect the money that we're collecting now. So I think,
Yeah, that was, thank you. That was more or less the reason for my earlier question at the previous meeting was what the run rate of collections are. And so thank you. Those are my questions. Thank you.
I mean, we'll look at it because it is a substantial amount of money we pay the county.
All right, thank you, Mr. Carter. Is there anyone else that would like to speak on the public portion? We'll close the public portion. On our agenda, is Mr. Chadwell on the line?
Yes, I'm here.
Mr. Chadwell, how are you?
Good, how are you guys?
Very good. Okay, number one is discussion of fiscal year 2021 New Jersey Department of Transportation Trust Fund Municipal Aid Program State Aid Applications. Floor is yours, Mr. Chadwell.
So this is what we do annually. It's the municipal aid, state aid that almost every municipality applies for. We've used it for Kelly Driver Road, we've used it for Johnson Road, we've used it for a bit of the bike path. And speaking with the mayor, I think they were targeting another section of Kelly Driver Road right down the road, next phase of that. Any comments, questions?
What specifically on your application for Kelly Drive Road? Can you tell my colleagues and I what's your intentions there?
Yeah, so last year we did it up to, I think it was Laurel Court. It's to take it from there and take it as far down as possible with whatever funds we get. I anticipate at least another 2, maybe 3 phases. CES, the other township engineer for stormwater, does have a project right within the proposed limits, so we'd match wherever their match line is in the pavement and continue from there as well.
Okay, any questions? Straw poll?
Mr. Hutchison?
Yes.
Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mrs. Stubbs?
Yes.
Mrs. Winters?
Yes.
Mr. Mignon?
Yes.
Mrs. Strato?
Yes.
Mr. Mercado?
Yes. Next is a discussion of the bicycle path bridge inspection. Mr. Chadwell.
Yeah, so unfortunately, a week or 2 ago during that pretty crazy windstorm, the trees decided to play dominoes and knocked a couple of larger trees down, and one of them fell squarely onto a steel bridge. We need to put a report together and recommendations to hopefully see if it's repairable or not, or if not, we would contact. I think there is a number on the side of the bridge with the manufacturer, so hopefully we can get a hold of the manufacturer and see what they recommend for their bridge. John Catwell did install it, I think in 2000, so it's about 20 years old. And that's to do our inspection and recommend repairs.
Okay. Tom, has that tree been removed, or is that blocked off that section of the bike path?
I believe the tree is still there and it's blocked off because it's unsafe.
Okay.
And that bridge is closed and will remain closed until we figure out a plan of action.
Okay. All right. Any questions from my colleagues on council? Okay, straw poll, please.
Mr. Hodgson?
Yes.
Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mrs. Stubbs?
Yes.
Mrs. Winters?
Yes.
Mr. Vignone?
Yes.
Mrs. Strato?
Yes.
Mr. Mercado?
Yes. Thank you, Anthony. Stay safe.
Thank you very much. Talk to you guys.
Mr. Carr, discussion of playground improvements.
Yes, so this is the playground structure that's going to go where the aerial Little League ball fields are. This will be funded from the capital program, I believe last year's capital program. And we are looking to move forward with this, so I'd like an entertainment of a straw poll for an award to Pettit Group, which is our recreation engineer.
So it won't affect anything that's happening right now from last year's budget?
Correct, that's correct.
Okay.
Are there any questions?
This is, a new playground, correct?
That's correct, it is a new structure.
Okay.
It is not replacing an existing structure. It will be new to the site.
Any other questions?
Well, money, this is coming out of the capital fund from last year? Am I hearing that?
That is correct.
Okay. What are the types of things, and I'm on the phone, what are the types of things could we do with money from a capital fund from last year, Tom?
I'm not sure exactly what you're asking me.
I know, I'm not sure either.
What other projects that could be used if there's
Yeah,
unused capital?
yeah.
That's what you're asking?
No, that's specifically listed as recreation and specifically for playground structure. So it's not something you could use for drainage or for streets or any other areas of capital.
So I think I know what she means, sorry. So
Yeah.
you can't hold that money, like given the state of everything right now, with the chaos with the taxes and all that, but you can't hold that money and just in case you needed it for something else
I mean,
during this pandemic, I guess, in essence.
you could always hold money. You could always not award projects. You could always not move forward. But I don't foresee with our ability to collect the second quarter, the May quarter, even with an extension to June, that you're going to have a cash flow problem where you would want to dip into the capital account. I don't foresee that.
Okay.
Is there, I'd like to have more discussion about it. Is there any way this can be tabled or?
Well, if there's a motion to table it, but you can always have a conversation with Mr. Cardis, if you wanted to.
What's the downside if we follow the council person's request to table? Is there any downside to that? And probably, is it gonna keep it from getting done this year?
No, but I mean, it's been a project that I know the people that live in the area and the people associated with the Little League are looking forward to. It's been in the planning for a year or so now, so.
I'd love to be able to accommodate the council person's request, maybe, council president, any way we can address it next workshop, hopefully iron stuff out.
How about, so we're meeting next Monday. So what we can do is in the interim, Mrs. Stubbs, if you have any questions for Mr. Cardis regarding this, please address those questions to him. But I plan to move forward on this next Monday.
I appreciate it. And I'll be there with 3 masks on.
All right. So, take a motion to table.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay. On the question, roll call, please.
Mr. Hutchison?
Yes.
Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mrs. Stubbs?
Yes.
Mrs. Winters?
Yes.
Mr. Vignone?
Yes.
Mrs. Strato?
Yes.
Mr. Mercado?
Yes to table. Council liaison reports. Mr. Hutchinson. Mr. Mignoni.
Well, unfortunately, I had a discussion today based on the governor to close schools and stop spring sports. Decision was made that it would not be a 2020 Field of Dreams season. I just don't see how it's possible that we can pull it off, even if it's for a game or two, specifically with players not going to school and the threat of the spread of the virus. We just were not going to put anybody in that predicament. So, unfortunately, our season has been canceled.
Mr. Owens.
The residents at housing are getting antsy. They want to get out. So they're just kind of waiting until it's been lifted so they can start planting their gardening, go to the gazebo. But otherwise, they are socially distancing how they're supposed to. I think they've had.
How many COVID?
They're cleaning the building now.
Mrs. Strato.
I have nothing.
I do, on our call last week, there was discussion about Memorial Day type activities. You're a liaison to our veterans. Can you reach out to Cliff Griffiths? We'll give you a number, and see what plans they're having, I believe. They will be visiting the sites, but there won't be a public display. And maybe they'll, I think the mayor talked about possibly having it uploaded on our site. But if you could reach out to Mr. Griffiths, I would appreciate it. The sewer is flowing at the MUA. Just a few things, as was mentioned earlier, as we all know, school has been canceled. And in addition to that, and nothing has come out from the recreation department. I know discussion's been talked about the last week about our recreational programs for the summer. Nothing has, there's not a definite on what's going to happen with that, but I would encourage you to please follow the Facebook page of the township and the township's website for updates. That, in addition to any type of school activities, K through 12, please follow the respective websites of the Black Horse Pike Regional School District and the Gloucester Township School District. With that, I entertain the motion.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second? All those in favor? Good evening, everyone. Stay safe.
See you, Andrea. Yes. Yes.